What are you seeing there? Because he was supposedly set up to succeed, and now we're seeing, obviously, some growing pains there as well.
I still believe in the talent 1,000%. And you see it. I mean, if you took the top 50 plays for all of these quarterbacks and put highlights together, you would still say, okay, Caleb's the best one. He just can do so many different things. He's so gifted. And you're seeing that more, since the coaching change, you're seeing it. Obviously there was a debacle at the end of the game that cost Eberflus his job. But I still think with all the different things he can do, he can expand your playbook more than any of these other quarterbacks. I just think when you say, okay, well, why didn't it work immediately? Well, their offensive line stinks. I thought from the outside in that they had, and sometimes this can be a defensive head coach thing, but more so, just a collective effort of don't screw upism. Don't do this, don't do that, don't turn it over, don't make a mistake.
It's a lot.
Play on schedule. Don't do this. And it's like, you guys have paralyzed this guy. This was his superpower, was to be able to be creative and make plays and be aggressive instead of having the mindset of like, hey, you're a rookie. We've got a great defense. If you are a little over aggressive and go across the line and we happen to make a mistake, that's fine. Be who you are. Our defense will pick it up and we'll be okay. Instead, it was like they just paralyzed him. And that's why he was taking so many sacks. I'd be watching the tape going, you're so athletic. There's nothing there. Get out and go. And it's like, nope, I have to be a pocket passer. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's not there. Okay. Don't turn it over. Sack. And it's like, gee, many Christmas, just put some freedom back in his game. And that's what Thomas Brown has done. Well,
it reminds me so much about another USC quarterback in Carson Palmer when Paul Hackett left and he had brought the Jets book with him to USC and Carson was just a mess. And when Pete Carroll came in, he liberated him and he gave him the confidence to try to be the best. Now, again, Caleb is a generational talent. Carson was a wonderful quarterback, very different. But still, these guys sometimes are just so overwhelmed. And I think the difference with Bo Nix and Caleb Williams is, I mean, Sean Payton, you've got this veteran coach who knows how to handle young talent like this, even though we know he's not that young, but still. It just shows and it underlines, Amy, I think, yet again, the value of a great coach.
Right. I mean, the best coaches best position their players to be their best, and you can count on that with Sean Payton. He is going to best position his players to be their best and help bring them along. The other thing I'll add, because I agree with everything you both said about what's going on in Chicago, the coaching staff had absolutely no attention to detail. Look, it's one thing. Teams understand, and I will tell you this from the perspective of someone who is in a front office. You can understand when you lose a game because you don't match up well against your opponent. If there are holes on your roster, your corners can't match up against their receivers, your pass protection doesn't match up against their pass rush, and you lose, you understand that as a front office. What you don't understand is if there's holes in your coach's brain. Holes in the roster is one thing. Holes in a brain is another. You've got to understand situational football. There's no excuse not to understand that.
Yeah, no, I think that's 100% right. And that's why I always think, to me, one of the dumber points of analysis is who have you beaten analysis. Like, no, that's good coaching. Good coaches don't lose to inferior teams. Everybody's going to run into somebody that's a little bit more talented than them, and you're going to just get physically beat. That's going to happen. But to me, like, find the poor coaches or the guys who aren't doing it right way. I'll find you teams that are losing to bad teams. I'll find you teams that are giving games away with poor management, decision making, on the sideline. Like, I want to strip all that stuff away and hopefully our guys match up well, and if they do, we got a really good chance to win. That's good coaching. That's not, you have only beaten one team or two teams with a winning record. Like, I've always chuckled at that.
Check out new episodes of What the Football with Suzy Shuster and Amy Trask every Tuesday. Watch us on the Rich Eisen Show YouTube page or follow and listen wherever you get your podcasts.